If you're a fan of the High Republic, you might have noticed that High Republic animation videos keep getting downvoted into oblivion. And I mean seriously downvoted into oblivion. Just when you think that the hate towards the High Republic couldn't get any more intense, we seem to be hitting new lows like never before. So it really seems like the High Republic is heading down a downward spiral that may foretell its eventual failure. But if you take a closer look at the numbers and a more holistic perspective on the response to the High Republic, you will find that this might not be the case. There are two things that I want to talk about in this video. First is why the High Republic is doing better than what most people think. And the second is what can we as fans of the High Republic do about all this negativity. So if you don't want to hear me talk about numbers and such, skip forward to the second part of the video. I will link the exact timestamp in the comment section for reference. So let's look at why the High Republic is actually succeeding despite all this negativity. In terms of sale numbers and printing runs, the High Republic overall is doing very well. The Light of the Jedi debuted at number 1 on New York's bestseller list and number 2 on the Amazon bestseller list. The book stayed on the New York's bestseller list for at least 4 consecutive weeks. A Test of Courage, despite all the so-called controversy surrounding it, debuted at 2nd on the New York's bestseller list for children. Both books of which sold out across multiple different retail platforms within the first day. The next book we had was Into the Dark, which debuted at number 1 as well on the New York's bestseller list, and stayed there for at least 3 consecutive weeks in total. The comic sales numbers have been no slouch either. Issue 1 of the Star Wars The High Republic comic series received a 4th printing with physical sales reaching 200,000 copies, which is astronomical heights for a comic issue. The second issue of the High Republic series follows along the heels of the success of its first issue. It is expected that the numbers drop off a little, as some people lose interest, don't like it, and so on. So it is pretty normal for these numbers to drop off. For IDW's The High Republic Adventures, which performed similarly well, which is quite surprising given that IDW comics don't usually perform as well as the other bigger brands, but in any case, issue 1 was generally quite well received. I know I enjoyed the story so far. Critical reception of the High Republic overall is quite positive. Each of these stories have received good to excellent reviews across a variety of different platforms, and the era as a whole has been generally applauded by critics alike. Across the board, more or less everyone agrees that the High Republic is off to a very good start and looks forward to see where these stories are headed towards. Now, a lot of people have been comparing the High Republic to The Mandalorian, and there are some who say that the High Republic is failing because it didn't reach the same heights as the Mandalorian series. But I think this isn't really a fair comparison. You see, The Mandalorian, which is a live-action TV show that is much easier to consume by most people than the written format of the High Republic. For the majority of us, it is much easier to sit back and watch The Mandalorian than to put a lot of mental focus on reading a book or comic. Books and comics aren't exactly a medium for everyone, especially for the casual Star Wars fan who just wants to escape into the Star Wars universe once in a while. So what do we do about all this hate and negative attention the High Republic is receiving? It is important to note that there is a divergence between what a few selected Star Wars fans are saying and what the majority and more open-minded Star Wars fans are saying on the other hand. The fans who downvote these videos are not fans who have read the books and comics of the High Republic. They're the same fans that basically jump on the bandwagon of hate who refuse to even consider the possibility of giving the High Republic a chance. And so, they adhere to certain figures on social media to tell them how they should feel about the High Republic without discovering it for themselves. Now, of course, that is not to say that everyone who dislikes the High Republic doesn't know what they're talking about. There are a few who are genuine in their dislike for the era, which is fine. So what can we do about all this negativity as fans of the High Republic? If you're a fan of the High Republic, don't be disheartened. You know what you love, so stand by it. Try and encourage those who are skeptical or unsure about the High Republic to give it a go. This doesn't mean we should go out and criticize and fight the haters in the comment section. Instead, support each other and try to bring others into the High Republic through positivity. Because if we resort to the same tactics that the haters of the High Republic use, then nothing changes and it becomes harder to get more people interested in the High Republic era. And I cannot stress this enough. Do not engage with the haters from a place of anger, because if we continue to perpetuate this cycle of toxicity that plagues the Star Wars fandom, then we are really no better than the other toxic fans. Angry interactions only lead to angry outcomes. As fans, we should engage each other in conversation about the High Republic and ignore the naysayers and build a community among people who truly enjoy this era. There should absolutely be no reason why you can't enjoy something because a lot of people are saying otherwise. So go out there, support YouTube channels, subreddits, and other online communities that celebrate this new era of Star Wars. And by building something positive, what you will find is that more and more Star Wars fans will be drawn towards these communities. There are plenty of Star Wars fans out there who are afraid to express their thoughts on the High Republic as they are afraid of the backlash. So let's build an open-minded positive community that embraces change and this new era of Star Wars. I think that the Star Wars fandom sorely needs some optimistic positivity that stands far away from all the toxic behavior that the fandom is known for. We all want Star Wars to succeed, and it starts by giving new things a chance to stand on its own, and it starts with you, the dear viewer. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on and on. Please consider subscribing to the channel for all things Star Wars. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.